I think the problems fall into four buckets. The first is a cultural challenge that we all face, particularly around the risk aversity of Europeans, perhaps relative to, for example, Americans. Secondly, there's challenges around talent. We undoubtedly have wonderful talent in Europe, but perhaps it's not as mobile. It doesn't move to where the startups need it as much. Thirdly, and importantly, I think access to financial help, support is very different in Europe, and it's something that would really drive entrepreneurship. We need to make sure that the great web startups are fueled with the right finance. And finally, and certainly not least, is support, general support for these startups that are getting off the ground. Because there are less case studies in Europe that people can refer to, we have to provide an extra layer of support to help, enable those companies to flourish.
It's always, in Europe, it's like, okay, you start in one country and then you have to slowly develop into other markets as well. But we are approached from designers all over Europe, so we realized that there's a huge demand for our platform Europe-wide. And how can I explain that? There's a missing link which helps us basically get into all the other markets really quickly and really easily.
Having the challenge to scale a product, especially if you focus on one market only, is very difficult in the area of mobile apps that we are in. So right now we changed that and we don't only focus on Germany, now we focus on Europe. And there will be different obstacles in terms of how we get legal entities in different countries, how we make term sheets that work for different countries, how we do joint ventures in different countries, and how we scale the business across borders in Europe.
I think we need faster and less bureaucratic access to early stage funding and to networks of mentors and potential business partners.
Access to public funding and consulting around public funding. We are convinced there are a lot of money in public funding, but there are no easy way to get this. And process around public funding must be more quicker. As a startup, you have only certain time to get ready to the market, and 6 months can be already too late. In general, it must be more quicker, more easier and more transparent.
In my opinion, Europe should provide wider trade standards for online payments, for taxes, for logistics, a legal framework that is the same in whole Europe. I also think that the European Union should make things a lot easier to skilled immigrants that want to work in Europe, especially engineers, programmers and scientists.
The last thing I think which would be really helpful is if there would be like an institution which helps you get into other European markets with language, with contacts in these other countries.